So about our speaker, she's a registered nutritionist dietitian from the University of the Philippines, Los Baños, and she had trainings from different esteemed institutions, both public and private, with combined skills in leadership, coaching, and project management, which I personally witnessed. I know that she's very exposed in different fields of nutrition over the years, and she has personally immersed herself with wellness industry, research, food service, and a lot of personal client and coach setting. She's really in love with educating people about these kinds of topics, and I'm very blessed to hear her train in so many instances already. So I hope that you get your pen and your notebook, or you even type it on your gadget, para you'll have a lot of recorded insights. Okay? And with her unique experience and her unique coaching style, I'm very excited that at the end of our learning session, we will have an action point for all the attendees for you to have a chance to win a one-on-one consult with her, so that you will also personally experience her holistic health and sustainable eating coaching. With this, I would like to call on, without further ado, our speaker for today's learning session, for everyone to learn about healthy eating. Let's call on Coach Gian Rico, registered nutritionist and dietitian, and also a very popular and well-respected health coach. Ayan.
Yay! Thank you so much, Coach Mara, for that very wonderful introduction. Grabe, ang haba ng introduction. Pero I'm so thankful, di ba, for having you and always guiding me. And then, syempre, why are we doing this in the first place? Kasi I want to share and everyone nga, more about nutrition. Ayan. So, welcome po sa mga attendees natin. Halo-halo yung crowd. We have former clients and then non-clients, no? And then yung people from different organizations. And syempre, when we talk about nutrition, this is for everyone. So kami, mga nutritionist dietitians, marami kaming field and that is summarized into 3. We have the clinical and then sa food service and then sa community. When you say clinical, yan usually yung mga nakikita nyo lang sa hospital. Diba? And then yung mga nasa community, ito naman yung mga nagko-conduct ng mga feeding program, outreach, ng mga nutrition programs for the community. And then syempre, food service, ito yung mga nag-ensure ng quality ng food na sinaserve sa restaurants. No? And then we also have an emerging industry, which is the wellness industry. So more about the corporate and then yung mga hindi pa naka-admit sa hospital. So ako, I've had experiences or exposure from these fields, but then nakita ko sa wellness industry, parang mas may fulfillment as a nutritionist. Kung saan, di ba, if I am able to educate you, for example, about healthy habits, mas maganda yung chance na makaiwas kayo sa disease condition or gumanda talaga yung quality of life nyo. So for me, that's more fulfilling. No? That's why I transitioned to private practice and mga corporate or wellness program. So bakit ba tayo mag-uusap ngayon about healthy eating for the now normal? Ano ba yung ating current situation? Syempre, number 1, we have the pandemic. And we all know nutrition is the number 1 or the first line of defense, di ba? And then if we have certain comorbidities, mas mataas yung risk natin for certain diseases. And syempre, nutrition nga ang pinaka, or yung eating habits, di ba? Nangunguna dyan. And then syempre, ito balita ko sa inyo, lumabas na yung survey ng ating National Nutrition Survey. And ang findings po, 3 out of 10 Filipinos ay overweight or obese, 'di ba? So sa dami ng problems natin sa health, humahabol na rin yung numbers ng pagiging overweight and obese, no? And then syempre nandiyan din yung mga underweight. So mas dumadami ang ating problems. And then syempre we want to, ayan, may mga lumalabas na mga fad diets, no? Hindi naman sila nawawala. So kumbaga tayo ay torn always with the conflicting information. Sobrang abundant nila online and offline. So sino ba yung susundin natin? So ang pinaka-goal natin dito is to meet the sweet spot. We want to get the best of both worlds. And kayang-kaya natin gawin yon by just learning to apply yung mga pillars of good nutrition. So again, bakit ba important ang good nutrition? Because it affects our productivity. Diba? If we are healthy, mas magiging productive tayo, mas maganda yung outlook natin in life, and then better overall well-being, and then in terms of work, syempre hindi tayo masyadong absent, and then sa finances naman, hindi tayo masyadong gagastos for healthcare, no? Healthcare costs. And ito pala, ang National Nutrition Month theme for this year is all about building immunity, community resilience, and recovery from the pandemic. So ang theme ngayon is new normal na nutrition, sama-samang gawa ng solusyon. So number 1 talaga ang role ng nutrition for that. Ayan. And if we do not practice good nutrition habits naman, syempre, we have the tendency to increased risk sa mga diseases, and then syempre sa productivity rin, pwedeng maapektuhan yung ating mobility, and then overall outlook for life, no, or yung ating well-being. Okay? So again, why a series of talks on healthy eating? Kasi I could be talking about weight management, 'di ba, or whatsoever, pero ang pinili ko talaga healthy eating habits, kasi we have the diet dilemma, and then yung mga fad diets na tuloy-tuloy. Ewan ko ba kung bakit sumikat itong mga ito. And then we want to get the best of both worlds nga. So talking about diet dilemma, so this is the diet dilemma, and then yung usually na-experience ng ating mga kapwa, due to diet culture na rin, siguro we would want to start a diet, and then kung ano yung mga sumisikat, no, usually very restrictive, may pinapaiwasan na certain food group. So itong si person ngayon, nakaka-experience siya ng extreme deprivation. And then later on, life happens, no, hindi na magawa yung mga restrictions, or nagkakaroon na ng mga cravings, syempre stress, no, or may mga events in life. So magi-get off siya dun sa diet, and then merong guilty feeling, no, kasi they started to eat na ulit yung mga dati nilang nare-restrict, or kaya nag-give in na sila. So feeling nila they are bad, no. So mula doon nagkakaroon na ng, kumbaga, bumabalik na sa dati, kung ano man yung na-lose ng mabilis, bumabalik din kaagad, and so on. So iikot na naman siya. Pero ang malungkot dito, usually may mga side effects na nangyayari sa health or sa mentality, no, sa physical and sa mental health when a person undergoes this specific cycle. So pwedeng nagkakaroon na ng mga hyperacidity, for example, or may mga certain diseases pa, no, ulcer, and then syempre mental health na apektuhan. Yan. So ito yung ayaw natin. So ang ultimate goal ko dito is for you to experience or to be able to practice sustainable healthy eating habits. So sustainability talaga. So itong seminar series na to, this is the first of it. First topic is yung pillars of good nutrition. So may mga susunod pa siya about meal preparation, and then snacking smartly, anong importance ng regular timing of meals or snacks, and then how do we keep our gut healthy. So first talaga, yung foundation is what is the pillars of good nutrition. So ano ang ating mga pag-uusapan? Introduction pa lang yan. Okay, so ito po yung ating topics or mako-cover natin. So I've already mentioned about the importance of good nutrition, and then ano ba yung basis, no, when we say we have personalized nutrition, and then ano yung principles of healthy eating. And how do we apply that? And syempre, we have our call to action sa last part. Ayan. So, okay naman po sila? Okay po ang lahat? Sanay ako na may nagre-react. Pwede kayong mag-on
Yes.
or ng video, pwede kayong mag-comment, or whatsoever, or mag-reaction. So anyway, what is personalized nutrition? No? So when we say nutrition kasi, wala talaga siyang one size fits all. Lagi siyang personalized. So kami, mga nutritionist, dietitian ninyo, ano ba yung mga nagiging basis namin when we're doing certain recommendations? So maraming factors. We have a basal metabolic rate, or gaano ka demanding, for example, yung iyong metabolism. So ang mga basis niyan is yung age, sex, yung iyong current measurements, body composition, and so on. And then we also have physical activity level, if for example you're sedentary or very active, no? And then we also consider history. So for example, diet history niya, nag-undergo siya ng sobrang restrictive na diet, no? And yun yung mga nagagamit na explanation bakit yun yung mga na-experience natin, for example. And then, syempre, yung disease conditions, no? And then, goals. O, ang goal ba is to undergo a nutrition therapy? Meron bang i-address na disease condition, or may i-maintain na body composition, for example? Or is it more of behavior, no? Behavior ang ina-address. So, yan ang personalized nutrition. So, in the end, you would have your own certain allowable allowance, ganyan. Allowance ng inyong food intake, and then meron din mga limitations, and that is personalized, no? Pero we only need to know kung ano ba yung inyong allowances. As long as alam nyo kung hanggang saan kayo, di ba? Or ano yung limitations ninyo. Yun yung inyong magiging guide kung ano yung mga i-consume ninyo. So for example, itong taong ito, 'di ba, nakita nyo, for example, kumain siya ng ice cream, 'di ba? Yung iba minsan magja-judge na bakit kumakain siya ng ice cream, 'di ba, masama 'yon. May mga ganyang comments, pero not knowing na itong taong ito, familiar siya dun sa limit niya, and then allowance niya, no? So pwede pa rin pasok pa rin yung ice cream dun sa overall allowance niya, no? So, hindi natin totally ina-avoid, no? May mga allowances lang. Okay? So, yan po ang basis ng personalized nutrition. And then, ano ba yung mga tatandaan natin, no? In order to guide us day by day, that we would be able to practice good nutrition na every day. So, we have the principles of healthy eating. First is adequacy. And then we also have moderation, balance, variety, and nutrient density versus energy density ng food items. So when we say adequacy, ang question dito, based on your needs, itong personalized nutrition na dinetermine natin. For you, are you providing enough for your body? So ano ba yung mga gusto nating enough? We have different types of nutrients. We have the macronutrients, the micronutrients, and the phytonutrients. So yung macronutrients, kaya siya sinabing macro kasi we need them in large amounts, no? And they provide calories. So ito yung carbohydrate, protein, and fats. And then we also have micronutrients. So tinatawag itong micronutrients because they are needed in smaller amounts. And then usually ito yung mga vitamins and minerals. And then we have phytonutrients. So, ito yung mga certain food items na meron silang physiological effect, no? Or yung mga functional food, usually mga fiber, and then yung antioxidants. Andito yung mga lycopene, resveratrol, and so on. Lutein, zeaxanthin, and so on. Yan yung ating mga phytonutrients. So, anong difference nito? Itong mga macronutrients, diba, they act as the building blocks of the body. No, so for example, yung protein, yan yung kailangan natin to have muscles, no? And fat, yan naman yung ginagamit para makaproduce tayo ng mga hormones. So imagine ninyo yung inyong katawan, para siyang machine, and then you have specific parts. So ang bumubuo ng parts na yon, yun yung inyong carbohydrate, protein, and fat. Pero what would make this machine really work the micronutrients, no? Kasi ang magkakabit-kabit niyan, 'di ba, sa machine, magkakabit-kabit ng parts is yung mga nuts and screws, 'di ba? So, yung mga magko-convert nitong mga inyong carbohydrate, protein, and fat to energy, and then yung magtatagpi-tagpi sa kanila is yung mga vitamins and minerals. So without the screws and so on, hindi pa rin gagana yung machine. Yan. So the question is, are we providing adequate amounts? No? Or baka nga nagkukulang or sobra na. And then we have moderation. Sapat lang ba yung pinoprovide natin in terms of quantity? And then we have balance. No? So yung food groups, yung lahat ba ng food groups ay nare-represent in your daily meals? When we say food groups, 'di ba, naalala niyo yung food groups natin, we have the whole grains or cereals, and then you have your meat, or yung inyong protein sources, you have your fruits and vegetables, fats and oils, and so on. So lahat ba ito nare-represent properly in a day? And then you also have variety. So when we say variety, iba-iba ba sila? For example, sa umaga, yung protein source mo, egg. So pagdating ng lunch, yung protein source mo ay pork, no? Pagdating ng dinner, pork pa rin ba ang iyong protein source? So pwedeng iba naman, pwedeng fish, beans or legumes, or mga chicken. So yun yung variety. And then we also have nutrient density and energy control. So ayan, next natin to pag-uusapan. Meron tayong illustration for that. So anyway, when talking about moderation, balance, and variety, paano ba natin ito maa-apply? No? So meron lang tayong tinatawag na pinggang Pinoy. So sino dito ang narinig na yung term na pinggang Pinoy? Before pa nila ako na-meet. Before ko i-introduce sa inyo yung term na ito, sino na yung naka-encounter nito beforehand? Kahit ano lang, me, ganyan, sa chat box. Okay. Na-encounter mo to, Coach Mara, before you met me, yung pinggang Pinoy?
Yes.
Okay, nice.
Sa
How about
mga
the others?
session din. Tsaka di ba
Okay.
tinuturo yan sa mga schools?
Oo nga.
Kinder,
Pag may
yung
anak.
kinder yung anak ko, yes. Oo.
How about the others? Meron po ba? Or ano, none? Siguro wala. Kasi walang...
Coach, hindi ako makinig sa school.
Si
Miss
si
Nanette.
Ma'am Nanette. Ayan. Si Ma'am Nanette, nutritionist din.
Si Miss Mads. She said yes din.
Ayan, si Coach Mads. Ayan, si Miss Roda. Great, no? So, ito talaga, dito nasa-summarize lahat ng mga principles ng nutrition sa pinggang Pinoy. Kasi di ba, imagine, sabi niya, moderation, no? Are we able to exercise portion control? Parang yun ang sinasabi ng moderation, sapat lang. So dito sinasabi sa pinggang Pinoy, you are going to allot certain proportions for your food. So for example, 50% of the plate ay allotted for the glow foods, and then 25% or 30% sa carbohydrate sources, around 25% ulit or 17% for the protein. Okay, so na-exercise mo na yung moderation. Next to that, balance, no? Represented ba lahat ng food groups? So we have yung grains dito sa lower left, and then you have your vegetables sa lower right. Upper right naman yung iyong fruit, and then yung protein mo sa upper left. And then ang question, paano yung mga fats and mga oils? So, pwedeng yung cooking method, di ba, naka-incorporate na sila doon. For example, dito yung fish fried. So, meron ka ng fat, no? Or what if yung vegetables sauteed, or meron siyang nuts, seeds, no? Mga kasama doon sa recipe. So, represented na rin siya. And then we also have milk. So, for example, yung beverage mo, meron siyang milk or water, or meron kang fruit, for example, or yung inyong other beverages pa. So, represented na sila with the pinggang Pinoy. Okay. When talking about energy dense versus nutrient dense, when we combine certain food items, di ba sabi natin, meron sila mga certain calories. Ngayon, depende sa pagkakaluto or sa combination ng mga food groups, we can actually have an energy dense or a nutrient-dense food. So again, not to generalize, 'di ba? Pero depende rin sa preparation. So for example, sa mga processed food or mga fast food, usually, 'di ba, hinahaluan ito ng fat, no? During processing, meron na silang mga hinahalong lard, butter, shortening, or yung chemicals nila. So may effect siya sa calories, 'di ba? Madami nang na-absorb na fat iyon. So tumataas na yung calories nila that when you convert it to daily meals, pwedeng marami na yung food items na katumbas ng kanilang calories. Okay? So yan yung energy density versus nutrient density. So for example, when we have breakfast, we can opt for a cereals then. Or ano ba yung milk na gagamitin natin, for example. So pwedeng you can use full fat milk, so mas mataas yung calories nun. Or you can opt for low fat or plant-based or mga non-dairy or whatsoever. So usually mas mababa yung calories niyan. So we have 3 types of milk kasi. Milk. Ano ba yung sinabi ko? Milk. So you have full fat, non-fat, or skimmed milk. No? So mas mababa sa calories yung skimmed milk. Okay? So yan yung example ng swap natin. And then for lunch, for example, ano ba yung usual na mga lunch natin? Meron tayong fried chicken, for example, and then French fries. No? So almost the same amount of calories if you swap it to a different cooking method. For example, chicken breast na wala yung skin, and then roasted, and then you have vegetables, and then for example, gumamit ka ng healthy fat, no, olive oil, sauteed yung vegetable with chopped nuts, no, so almost the same amount of calories pero mas maraming nutrients kasi you have your vegetables, no, and then yung mga nuts and seeds, and then simple lang yung preparation dun sa inyong protein. And then for example, sa snacks naman, instead of having plain white bread with jam, for example, you can swap it to whole grain bread. No? So meron ka ng additional benefit from the fiber plus low fat cheese, no? So meron na rin siyang protein and fruit. So that makes it more satisfying. No? Kasi meron siyang whole grain, may fiber, meron siyang low fat cheese, and then you have the vitamins pa from the fruits. So yan yung mga sample ng mga swap na pwede natin gawin. No? So energy density versus nutrient density. And then we also make use, ito naman additional information lang. No? We use food exchange list to better account for the amount of calories. No? So, pero ito, ginagamit lang to, for example, kapag may mga therapy or may mga disease condition na kailangan mas maging strict. Okay? So again, pinggang Pinoy. Tapos we have yung mga swap, no, for more nutrient-dense food. And then we also have variety kanina. No? How do we account for the variety? Ang key dyan is to check the color of your food. So, ang sabi natin, eat a rainbow of colors. Kasi, different colors of food, may different nutrients din yun na maipoprovide sa inyo. Kasi, not one food can provide you all the nutrients you need. Kailangan iba-iba. Diba? Sabi natin, yung iba, kumakain sila ng fruit, pero madalas, apple or panay saging. No? So, hindi naman napoprovide lahat ng banana, lahat ng nutrients. No, meron pang ibang nutrients sa other types ng fruits, no? So for example, ano ba yung mga colors na meron diyan? For example, red, 'di ba? Meron siyang lycopene, and we all know yung benefits ng lycopene. Pag purple naman, meron siyang mga resveratrol, additional antioxidant, and that is helpful for cardiovascular health. And then syempre yellow and orange, yan yung mga vitamin A, lutein, zeaxanthin para sa eyes. And green, syempre, madaming nutrients yung mga green, mga vitamins and minerals din. So, check the color of your meal. So, for example, sa umaga, di ba, you have your, for example, nagsaging. So, yellow na siya, di ba? So, sa next meal, pwedeng ibang color naman, pwedeng orange, no? Yung, para meron kayong, orange yung fruit, para meron kayong color orange. And then, sa gabi, pwedeng apple. Ayan, white siya. Or if kasama yung balat, no, red. Ayan. So, we've covered na yung moderation, balance, and variety. And then energy density, tsaka adequacy. So, in addition to that, ano pa yung mga pwedeng natin gawin? Kasi we've tackled about the quantity and quality, di ba? We can also, talk about your behavior towards eating. No? Ang sabi natin dito, eat mindfully or slow down. Kasi most of the time, nawawala tayo dun sa proper quantity and quality na food natin kasi we are not being mindful sa ating eating habits. So sabi natin dito, if you could just slow down your meals, marami ka pang benefits na makukuha. If you're familiar dun sa mindful eating, yun ang pinupunto ko dito. So mindful eating, you can also look it up, no? Marami siyang benefits. Isa na dun yung better digestion, no? Mas may iwasan natin yung bloating, constipation, and yung mga pakiramdam na ganyan, or pagkakaroon ng mga GERD. And then another benefit of mindful eating is appetite regulation. So kusang bumababa yung ating portion ng ating consumption. So bakit ganon? According sa mindful eating, we need to slow down kasi yung stomach natin, kailangan niya ng at least 20 minutes for it to send the signals na busog na siya. Okay? So what if masyado tayong mabilis kumain? For example, 5 to 10 minutes pa lang tapos na tayong kumain. Ano magiging effect nun, di ba? So syempre, napapangunahan na natin yung ating stomach. Before siya makapag-send ng signals na napupuno na siya, ikaw ay nakarami na, 'di ba? So if you could just slow down, 'di ba? Bigyan mo siya ng time para makahabol, no, na makapag-send sa'yo ng proper signals and so on. Baka hindi mo talaga maubos yung laman ng iyong plate. No? So kusang magiging smaller yung portion. And that is our internal guide, no, to the amount of food that we should eat. Yung stomach, no, yung kanyang satiety cues. And then, syempre, we also have other recommendations sa mindful eating. So, mindful eating is a totally separate discussion talaga siya. Marami siyang mga principles behind. And then, another tip, no, is to learn how to read nutrition labels. Okay? So, sabi natin, di ba, know your allowance and know your limits din. So, if home cook yung meals, mas may chances na monitor natin yung amount and kung ano yung specific natin kinakain. But what if process nga yung food or nakapack sila, it pays to check the labels talaga. No? So ano ba yung mga binabantayan natin dyan? Syempre, we can consider yung calories, ano yung mga pinoprovide niya ng macronutrients, and then syempre micronutrients din. And syempre yung of interest talaga dyan is the sodium, sugar, if may trans fat, pero dapat wala, di ba? And then saturated fat. So when we say sodium, ang sodium, ang dami niyang effect sa body, di ba? So ang allotment lang talaga natin per day is nasa 2,400 milligrams to 2,500 milligrams of sodium per day. Pero what if hindi natin napansin yung kinain natin na pansit canton? Diba? Usually parang umaabot na yan ng 1,500 milligrams per serving. So kumain ka for example ng pansit canton, so meron ka na lang natitirang 900 milligrams. So paano kapag pansit canton ulit yung kinain mo at your next meal or another processed food or commercially prepared food item? So chances talaga, pwedeng sumasobra na tayo doon. And ano bang nagiging epekto nito? Andiyan na yung mga nagkakaroon tayo ng hypertension, tumataas ang blood pressure, nabobloat, nagkakaroon ng mga pamamanas, and so on. So yan ang effect ng excess sodium intake. Okay? So hopefully you were able to check yung mga nakalagay ditong mga guide, no? Sugar, trans fat, and so on. And lastly, to wrap it all up, how can we get started with all of those recommendations? Diba? Adequacy, moderation, balance, variety, and then reading the labels, and then mindful eating. Syempre, it all starts with personal awareness. So ang suggestion ko sa inyo, yung mga umattend dito, you could keep a personal food journal, 'di ba? To check if you were able to practice all these suggestions, no? And ano yung gusto nyong simulan right away. So isa sa mga nakalagay dito, no, ano yung inyong kinonsume, ano yung inyong mga naramdaman after you eat that food, and then colorful ba? Ayan, were you able to check the colors of the rainbow para at least alam ninyo kung ano yung inyong pwedeng i-add. So for example, nilagay ninyo sa inyong journal, kumain kayo ng breakfast and then after some time na experience nyo parang nabo-bloat kayo or merong mga indigestion or whatsoever, baka naman hindi tayo nagiging mindful sa ating consumption or baka naman masyadong madami pala, no? Masyado tayong nabusog, no? Hindi na tayo naging moderate or yung proportion ng plate hindi natin masyado napapractice. So from there, raised awareness, no, you can start with doing kung ano yung mga pwede ninyong simulan. Ayan. So anyway, to end it, I would like to share this quote with you according to Dr. Lee Hilan and Jennifer Brox-Hermano. No one superfood, diet plan, magic supplement, or whatsoever can ensure that you'll stay healthy, but with meaningful daily habits, we can make a difference. So friends, consistency, awareness is the key, no? And syempre, maganda kung meron kayong accountability partner or yung inyong magiging support, no? Support group. Yeah. So thank you so much. Hopefully, this was timely and marami kayong natutunan. So again, this is G. Enrico, your nutritionist dietitian. I'm doing nutrition consultancy sa company, and then you can also invite me over for speaking engagements. And then syempre, meron din tayong one-on-one. So if ever you have certain concerns, you can just reach out, no? If i-share natin dito yung link, no, if you want to consult anything. Ayan. So we are now
Pumapalakpak na ako.
okay. If you need anything, ayan, ito po yung aking mga social media handles and email. So I'm giving the floor back to Mentor Mara if you have
Hi.
questions.
Thank you very much for very clear, brief but very clear and insightful learning session, Coach Rian. Thank you for sharing those information. I'm very, very excited because, as you've said, series of talks itong seminar na ito. So this is just one of the 4, if I'm right, correct? And so at the end of this meeting, we would like you to follow the social media handles of Coach Rian so that you'll get updated because she will also create a private group para doon natin makita yung mga susunod na schedule ng talks na to follow through the learning session that we've had today. And so for more questions and clarifications, you will also have an avenue to ask her and enjoy accountability also as a group. Na since she shared na it's consistency, discipline, and accountability ang keys to success in having a mindful nutrition. And so before we go to the giveaways, I would like to check if you have any questions for Coach Gian before we go to the fun part. Kanina, Coach Gian, I saw that Mr. Oreta, it's his first time to hear about Pinggang Pinoy. So I'm sure you will also have an avenue for Pinggang Pinoy to be featured maybe in your next talks para mas appreciate namin kung ano ba yung Pinggang Pinoy, because generally we only know Go Grow and Glow. So I'm not sure if that still is relevant, but nakaka-happy lang yung Pinggang Pinoy kasi ibig sabihin yun yung portions suggested for us Filipinos.
Yes, relatively new siya kasi ang ginagamit talaga noon is the food pyramid.
Okay.
No, for different audiences, and then recently nirelease yung Pinggang Pinoy, siguro more than around 2010s, around that year, no, para mas ma-simplify yung mga recommendation natin, tsaka mas maging applicable siya to a wider range of people.
Yes, okay. So, thank you for joining us this afternoon. And again, please follow Coach G and Rico's social media handles. And for us to get to know you more, we will also want to connect with you. And so for us to find you in social media, please participate in our fun activity after this call. You can take a photo of your mindful nutrition version or your own version of your own Pinggang Pinoy. And then you can put a short or any takeaway as your caption. And don't forget to use our hashtag so that we can easily find you. Choose Nutrition and hashtag Nutrition by Gian. Okay, again, take a photo of your own version of Pinggang Pinoy, your own pinggan, kumbaga, mindful pinggan, based from what we've learned from today's learning session with Coach Gian, and put a short caption about insights or any takeaway from this afternoon learning session, and use the hashtag choose nutrition and hashtag nutrition by Gian. And we will choose 3 lucky winners for us to give away these cute notepads that we have for you to use as your diet journal. And also we will choose one special participant for Coach Gian's one-on-one consult. Ayan, to be scheduled between the two of you. So I hope everything is clear. Thank you, Coach Gian, for sending the hashtags. And yes, can we all ask everyone to be on video so we can take a fun video with everyone, a fun photo with everyone? Ayan. For our reference. Okay. So if it's okay with you, can we take a video? Can we take a photo if you are okay to be on video?